and welcome to this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm Courtney Bloomer, and our guest this week in our Brewery Arts studios is Lisa Lee from Advocates to End Domestic Violence. Lisa, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on to talk about the Taste of Downtown. I appreciate it.
Well, the Taste of Downtown is
3 weeks away, yes.
Advocates' big fundraiser of the year, and it is only 3 weeks away. Let's start out. Tell us a little bit about Advocates and your organization's mission. How did you guys get started? You know,
we've been in existence since 1979, and what we have is we have crisis intervention services, which is a 24-hour hotline, and we go to the hospital and we'll help on emergency basis as well. And we also have a 51-bed emergency shelter here in Carson City. It's the largest in northern Nevada, and we can offer survivors and their families up to 5 months stay. And then we have help at the courthouse. We have several staff people there who can hold your hand and walk you through the process of getting a temporary protection order or a stalking order. They can go to court with you. All that's kind of foreign if you've never had to do any of that. So it's nice to have someone who understands the system explain.
Someone to help you through it.
Well, you know, it's written all by lawyers, so you start looking at this going, oh my goodness, what's this mean? So it's nice to have an advocate there, and then whenever you're in court, it's, you know, it's really daunting and scary. So it's nice to have someone on the side saying, this is what's going to happen, and this is what the next step is, and this is what the judge said. You know, so that way they walk you through. And then we have a sexual assault response team, and that core of our agency helps survivors of sexual assault. They go to the hospital, they go through the exam with them, and then they walk them through the system of getting counseling, and then through the court and do the follow-up with them. And then we have, you know, Classy Seconds, our thrift store, which helps, you know, underfund quite a lot of our services.
Absolutely. And you guys got started as a result of a lack of these types of services in the community, and not having resources to do these kinds of services. How many people come through your services each year? You
know, the crisis hotline, most of the time people are going to go through the crisis hotline, and then if we can keep you in your home, I mean, that is my ultimate goal, is to keep you in your house. If you can afford to stay there and it's a safe place with a protection order in place, you know, if you can keep your family unit going and you can keep your routine going, that's better for yourself and the kids. But if this house is not safe, then we love to take you into the shelter and provide protection and help you get on your feet again and get employment and move on. And we'll do probably nearly 5,000 nights of shelter this year, and primarily it's going to be women and children. The average woman who enters is 36 with 2 kids under the age of 7, and usually is unemployed without a car when they walk in the door. So they've got a lot of barriers just to be able to get around town is often a challenge.
Absolutely. So these are really valuable services that are being provided to families in crisis. Really, these are families that in some cases don't have any other safe place to be.
Go. If you had somewhere else to go, you would. And normally when you call in on the crisis line, we walk through that with you. You know, do you have a relative? Is this place safe? Do you have anywhere else you can go? Because leaving and going into shelter is really a scary proposition for you. We make it as homey as we can. It's very nice and it's very quiet, very comfortable. But most people never, you know, think that they'll end up in a shelter. So they'll sleep in their car, they'll try hotels, they'll sleep on couches first before they take that step. And so we try and make it, whenever you do make that step, that it's so nice. And that's often what we run into is, you know, 5 months comes and our clients don't want to leave, and you're going, you know, we've got to move you on and get you into your own place.
Absolutely. So all of these things, free to the clients, but they don't come free. The electricity in the shelter and having these resources available costs money, and you guys need to pay for that. So the way that you do that is through the Taste of Downtown.
That is our primary fundraiser. We started, the first year we did it, we had 17 fundraisers that year, and they ran from bingo tournaments to golf tournaments. And I just happened to be downtown one day, and there was a little tiny hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and I thought I'd never been here. I hadn't been downtown in forever. I grew up in Carson City, and it was just had just developed into such a run-down area to be avoided. And suddenly I thought, there's a couple of little restaurants. If we could get people to come down here and see these restaurants, right, maybe they'd come downtown. You know, it's my hometown. I love Carson. I want to be proud of Carson. And so we really thought it would just be maybe a couple of times it would work, and it was such a hit, and the restaurants loved it because it kind of had three purposes. It, helped us raise funds, and it got attention for downtown and for the revitalization that was starting to happen. But it was also a really great energizer for the businesses, and it was an economic driver for many of them. So it got them customers. I got people to know where they are, and today, people expect to be able to open up their app and find where there's a restaurant.
Right.
But it's great if you can get them in the door. And, there's no scratch and sniff on your iPhone whenever you're at the Urban Spoon and you're trying to say, where can I go for dinner?
I'm on Yelp.
Yep, where can I go?
It says this is good.
It tells me what times, and it might have some stars. But if you can get them in there and you can taste, one of our favorites has been Lady Tamale. I mean, she has a little tiny shop, on the east side of town, and she has won several times.
Yes.
And she just does.
She brings it
to
Taste It Downtown.
She does.
I remember her booth from last year.
She goes crazy with it, and she's got that outgoing personality, and she is just, really out on the street having a great time with those tamales and really engaging you, and it has been great for her business for the same thing. I mean, once you taste that tamale, and it's Tuesday night, and you're saying, gosh, I don't want to cook tonight, tamales.
And I'm sure a lot of the restaurants feel that way. They've been really introduced sort of to the people of Carson City through this event.
Yes.
Now, this has grown. Mm-hmm. How many restaurants this year?
We're looking at about 40. We're still firming up a couple minutes. Today is Friday. I'll be finalizing the ticket tonight and tomorrow. And so we'll have about 40, which is good. I mean, when we started, we had 5. 5, 6, and so it has grown to where we can only sell 2,000 tickets. So they go on sale June 1st, and when they go on sale, it's first come, first serve, and we try and hold some back for that day. But on the whole, they go really, really quick, and because the restaurants have a hard time doing more than 2,000 samples. Right. So for some of the large ones that come in, it's not as difficult, but for some of the smaller ones, it's a little more challenging. And then we'll have shops, and we'll have, I think at this point we're at 8 live bands. So we try and have a little bit of, we're going to have 2 bands going to 10 o'clock this year. We're going to have one on Telegraph Square and then one on 3rd Street. And so we try to have a good sampling of music. And then we have a trolley. So if it's too much walking for you, you can pick up the trolley and go all the way down. We'll be going down to the mall in Reds, and we'll be going down to Tahoe Ridge this year as well. So we're really excited about them.
This trolley will be, that'll be kind of a nice addition.
Yes.
Now the street is closed otherwise, so
Mm-hmm.
so the trolley is going to be the transportation option for those who can't walk,
Mm-hmm.
or bikes will be.
Bikes. So you know what it is. Sometimes it's nice to either walk one way and take the trolley the other way and walk it off a little bit, or to take it both ways, and that way you get a sampling of everything. And you really, some people have a goal. They have that wristband, and their goal is to get to every single
place. I don't know how they do that, because that's always my goal as well, is to go to all the places, and I get like halfway through, and I'm like, oh,
you get about number 13, and you go, oh my gosh.
I'm definitely getting full.
Yes, and then so it's every year somebody will come up to me at the information booth at the end. I'm usually there, and show me I got to them, and you're going, well, good luck. ER is right down the street, because it's a lot of food.
It is a lot of food. It's a lot of food, but it's such a great event for the entire city.
It is.
This brings people downtown. I know one of my favorite parts of the event, beyond getting to try all of this delicious food, is I run into so many people I know. Mm-hmm. And so it's so much fun to get downtown and see everybody out and about and listen to the bands. Mm-hmm. Just such a great event for bringing people out and really showcasing everything that's happening in downtown
and
Carson.
I think that's what it's really developed into, and it has been, it's almost like a big neighborhood party. And so people that you haven't seen in maybe 5 years or for at least a year, you run into them and you congregate, you end up chatting and having a great time, and then you dance for a little while and you go find a great sliver of pizza, or you go over there and find something unbelievable.
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes
every
gosh,
year.
there was a couple of cupcakes last year. Someone had bacon. Oh, bacon cupcakes.
I
oh
remember
my gosh.
the bacon cupcakes.
That you could smell walking up to that. So
we've told everybody how amazing this is. If you don't believe us, you need to go to Taste of Downtown. This is happening on June 20th in downtown Carson City. Tell everybody how they can get a ticket to this event.
Well, our tickets are $40. We try and keep it reasonable for everyone, and you can get it locally if you want to. You can go to the Chamber of Commerce. You can go to Purple Avocado, which is there in Curry Street, and talk to Stan. You can go over our Classy Seconds. We have them as well. If you want to, you can call our office at 883-7654, and we can do it over the phone for you. Or you can go to our website, which is tasteofcarson.com, and we have a link there and you can buy it online. And then if you buy it online, we'll have it at the information booth, and you just come up, grab your tickets, and and then the band will show you where we'd like you to start.
And there's a map.
There's a map. Nobody follows it. I spend a lot of time every year doing it, and then I see nobody with it, and people just stroll and hit the ones, I'm like, why did I waste time on the map? But for the newbies that haven't done it before, they sit at home. Some people really plan it. They sit at home and they really target, and then all the shops that are involved, they kind of try and make sure they want to hit certain shops that are having some offers and some specials going. So it really becomes almost a hunt, a scavenger hunt for the night of friends and food and good music.
Absolutely. So tickets, again, $40, available online or at a number of retailers here in Carson City. Before we go, I want to really get the message out there for people who may be experiencing domestic violence in their lives in Carson City. How can they get a hold of you?
They can call us at 883-7654, and that's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week number, and that's also good for victims of sexual assault as well. And so they can call. If it's after hours, they're going to get a volunteer, and the volunteer is trained and will help them. If they need shelter, it's just a matter of, we do it 2 o'clock in the morning, we do it 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and if they need a sexual assault exam, it's the same thing. It's 24/7. So they just give us a call at 883-7654, and that number will get you anything that we do. If you call that number, it will get to the right person.
Absolutely, and people who are in need of help and who don't know where else to turn, your organization is a fantastic resource here in Carson City. Everybody, support advocates to end domestic violence. Visit the Taste of Downtown event happening on June 20th right here in Carson City. Lisa, is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone?
No, I want everyone to
before
come
we
down
go?
and have a great time. And I expect to see you down there. You'll be on the corner having fun holding court.
I will be there for sure. I wouldn't miss it. Thanks so much for being here with us this week and for sharing about your organization and the resources that you have. And certainly thank you for bringing Carson City together with this fantastic event.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for joining us this week for It's Your City. We'll see you next week.